Hello everyone and welcome back to Strife Solutions. I'm of course William Strife and this is Yogscast Complete, or Yogpack if you prefer, a special version of modded Minecraft for us, the Yogscast. If you want to play along, you can get the community version off of the AT launcher. A link is in the description. So, last time, I went about genetically enhancing myself, speed, jump boost, resistance. I can fly as if I'm in creative mode indefinitely. I backed up my genetic code because if I die, all of these nifty genetic enhancements are lost. And I've stored them in a lockbox down on the ground floor of the facility where I respawn. And that was that of the previous episode, and I went and I built the other half of the genetics lab over here. With mad science over there. So today, I don't really have anything big and specific that I want to get done. What I really want to do is I want to clean up a couple of things, little bits, several bits and pieces that I've been meaning to do on camera, but, it's too small to dedicate an entire episode to. So I'm going to do some, miscellaneous things altogether. So that's why this episode, I don't know what it's going to be called, but it's more or less the bits and pieces, the leftover things. And what I'm going to start off with is cloning in advanced genetics, because there are a whole lot of different ways to spawn specific mobs. There's the Mine Factory Reloaded way, which I have in the mob spawner down there. There's also the spawn eggs that you can create through the Mad Science mod, and whatnot. The standard mobs plus the combined mobs over here. But there's also a method in advanced genetics that allows you to create uniquely different mobs. And what I'm going to need to do in order to get into that is, let's see, check the list. I'm going to need to make an insulator and a DNA cloner, okay? So let's start off with the insulator really quickly here. The insulator is composed of iron ingots, pistons, a bucket of lava, and an advanced DNA dictionary. Now, the advanced DNA dictionary is pretty easy to make. It's just a standard DNA dictionary, which is a book surrounded by cells. And then you put more cells around that to make an advanced dictionary. Now I need a second one as well. Okay, there we go. 2 advanced DNA dictionaries. I'm going to need both of these. But let's go ahead and make this. I just have to grab the iron out of the chest. Okay, so DNA insulator. Not difficult to make this recipe. Can't shift click it though. Okay, there we go. I've got the DNA insulator right there. Got my bucket back as well. So I'll go ahead and pop this into the wall. Also, as you can see, because I spoke about this in the last episode, I don't know that I really focused on it too much, but auto-ejection, the auto-ejection upgrade from the advanced genetics mod, it's disabled on the server because it causes some issues, and despite my efforts to automate the system with standard pipes or item ducts or whatnot, it just flat out doesn't work, so it's all manual, which is really disappointing, but it's just the way things work. Now, with that done, the next thing that I need to make is the DNA cloner, which is the machine that actually does the custom spawning of mobs in the game. So the DNA cloner is this half slab thing over here. It's composed of a bunch of iron, an insulated cell, a syringe, an advanced DNA dictionary, and an insulated helix. Now you get the insulated cell and the insulated helix from taking an insulated DNA strand. I don't even know what these strands are for. I just chucked them in the chest whenever I was working last and I got to the end of everything. It might be horse, it might be something else, but you put a helix in the DNA insulator, and it'll run through to make a insulated DNA helix. It takes longer, even with all the overclockers, it takes much longer than all the other machines to do this. Then you get a insulated cell by running a cell through the DNA insulator. And as you can see, this is called an insulated helix. Now, I don't know what this is, okay? This is necessary to perform the mob spawning. Okay, so I've got myself 2 insulated cells and 2 insulated helixes because I'm going to need these. Granted, like I said, I don't know what on earth these helixes are for. I don't remember what animals they came from. But with that, now we can go ahead and make the DNA cloner. Like so many recipes, this cannot be shift-clicked because the syringe that it requires does not stack. And there we go. DNA cloner. Okay, so the reason why this is something that I'm covering at all is because the DNA cloner is really, really energy efficient. Now, the problem is that you require insulated cells to make this thing work, okay? So I'm about to find out what exactly type of mob is this insulated helix represents. So the way that it works is that you just have to connect it to some sort of a power source, and as you can see, this thing has filled all the way up and it has used almost nothing out of the basic energy cube. This thing is super, super energy efficient. So what you do is you put an insulated helix on the left, and then you put an insulated cell on the right. These cells stack up to, I think, 16. And then you put it in there, and it's a horse gene. Okay, and it will spawn creatures from those insulated cells. So the insulated cells work as kind of cumbersome spawn eggs, okay? You need the machine to actually get them to do anything, but that's the way that it works. And I don't need you. Get rid of them. Okay, so one of the really cool things that you can do with this DNA spawner that you can't really do with anything else is give unique features to the creatures that you spawn with it. And it's basically the splicing system that you have at your disposal for yourself, but you can also apply it to mobs. So I've researched this gene Woolly, the Woolly gene from sheep. And what I'm going to do with this is, first of all, I'm going to need some blood from a mob. So I've got these spawn pig eggs. All I got to do is come up to this thing with an empty syringe, hit it, and you can see that the syringe is now full. What I do is I centrifuge that syringe, take it out, then open up the DNA combiner, put it in the right, just like I would do if I was making a modification for myself. Put the complete gene in the left, and it'll combine with the centrifuge syringe. And then I just run that back through the centrifuge. And this is a complete syringe with the Woolly feature in it, okay? So now I can come back to the DNA cloner, put that in the top slot above the insulated helix, put another insulated cell in there, and it'll spawn a horse, I believe. Okay, it spawned another horse for me. So now, if I pull out my shears that I have in my bag, this is what's interesting. This makes this horse now give me infinite wool. Look at all the wool that horse just spat out for me just because I went and genetically modified it. 55 wool very, very quickly, okay? So there are other genes that you can do this with. Infinite milk. You know, it's a novelty at best, really, outside of the ability to infinitely shear one animal. But, you know, that being said, it's a fairly cool thing to do. And like I said, it's super, super energy efficient. The only catch is that you have to create those insulated cells. And because the automation is kind of broken in multiplayer, it more or less makes it a moot point to ever do this. But I thought I'd show it off anyway. So there you go. That's the advanced genetic stuff. Oh, I almost forgot. There's also a microscope that I need to look into. The microscope is composed of a stone tool rod, a glass, a block of iron, and a bunch of iron ingots. So I'll just go ahead and make a stone tool rod for myself. So I'll go ahead and shift click that, and I've got myself a microscope. Now I'm going to take my own blood just to show what exactly this does. I'll go ahead and slap that microscope down, right click it with the syringe in my hand. Ooh, I'm sorry, I need to centrifuge that syringe first. So I'll go ahead and right click the microscope with a centrifuge syringe, and it will slowly but surely analyze the blood. Okay, and like I said, slowly, very, very slowly, but surely it has finished analyzing my blood. And what I can do now is I can select these dots, and it's going to tell me what exactly is in my genetic data. So I've got swim in lava, resistance, jump, speed, water breather, fly, and avoid creepers. So that's how that works. Now, lest I be mistaken, you can't. Yeah, if you back out of the microscope, then it stops analyzing. I don't know if it's possible to speed this thing up either, because God, did that take a long time. But yeah, there you go. That's the last of the stuff for advanced genetics. So next up, I'm going to go ahead and make a point out of the disgusting meat cube that I was showing off before. I've got one over here, and I'm going to put this down. Now, first of all, when it makes a really nasty sound, and it makes this sound server-wide, okay? Some of you probably already know it was bugging RidgeDog whenever I was recording the episode about discovering this thing. So, like normal, if you go and hit this thing a whole bunch, it makes this sound, and now it makes this heartbeat sound after I've completely exhausted all of the flesh on it. So, what I can do now is come in here. It's possible to make this meat cube regenerate. I'll go ahead and right-click this barrel of liquid mutant DNA. And the way that you get liquid mutant DNA is you just send full syringes of zombie pigmen blood, I believe it is. You get you jab zombie pigmen with a syringe, and you send it through the DNA extractor, and it'll produce liquid mutant DNA. So if you come in here and you put the mutant DNA into it, the disgusting meat cube will consume... Piggy, get out of here. It'll consume that liquid mutant DNA and it will slowly regenerate, okay? It's not a really, really fast process, but it will take the mutant DNA in and it will regenerate over time. And I think it takes something in the ballpark of 3 or maybe 5 buckets of this stuff. You can pipe it straight into the top of it using, you know, a pipe or a fluid duct or whatever you want, but it does... Jeez, talk about a creepy sound. It does regenerate over time. Now, the problem, like I said, is that everybody on the server can hear this thing whenever it's loaded, okay? So if you put it in an area, like most of my tower is chunk loaded, so anything that I put down in the tower, if it's going to make a sound that everybody can hear server-wide, that's going to be a problem overall, okay? And then I can go ahead and hit this thing over and over and it will, you know, continue to produce meat. And because it makes such a disgusting sound, I'm just gonna get rid of it, and it just leaves a bone behind. So there you go. That's what's going on with the disgusting meat cube. Okay, so there's that. Meat cube and mutant DNA. Now to move on to the last thing. Heart canisters from Tinker's Construct. Okay guys, so I'm back downstairs on the main floor, and like I said, the last bit is about heart canisters from Tinker's Construct. Now, some of you probably a little bit wound up with the fact that of all the things that I did from Tinker's Construct, I didn't use the gene for extra hearts. I don't remember which mob gives it to you, but there is a gene that gives you extra hearts. Well, the reason why I didn't do that is because Tinker's Construct adds these heart canisters, which permanently increases your health, and despite the fact that you have to equip them, they don't drop whenever you die, okay? These are stuck on your person. So I can come in here and I can take them out if I want to, but they don't drop from my person whenever I die, okay? Now there are 3 levels of heart canister. The 3rd level is spawned in only. These are impossible to craft. As you can see, I'm hitting R on the green ones and it's not giving me a recipe. But it is possible to craft the small heart canisters and the medium heart canisters, okay? So 10 of these doubles your health bar, and then another 10 of these triples your health bar, okay? So the way that this works is you have to find these miniature red hearts dropping around the world. It is also possible to find these heart canisters in dungeon chests. The miniature red hearts can also be found in dungeon chests. Same thing with the yellow hearts. I've yet to find a heart canister in a dungeon chest, a yellow heart canister in a dungeon chest though. So what you do is you either get the miniature red hearts or you find these and you craft these into the heart canister. Now to make the heart canister, it takes a jeweled apple, an empty canister, the miniature red heart, and a necrotic bone. Now the necrotic bones are dropped by wither skeletons, and I've got 29 necrotic bones from the wither skeleton spawner downstairs to the north of the base, which is actually quite a lot given that I haven't really run that spawner very much. So in this chest over here, I've got 6 of these miniature hearts, and I've got 3 miniature yellow hearts. So the yellow ones are a lot more rare. They are typically dropped by bosses, okay? So the other thing that I need are the empty canisters, which is just a bunch of aluminum in a ring. I've got aluminum blocks over here. Okay, so here we go. 6 empty canisters. The other thing that I'm going to need are jeweled apples, and jeweled apples are pretty simple. They're just an apple surrounded by diamonds. There we go. I only need 6 of these jeweled apples. Now to actually make the heart canisters, shift-click, and there we go. I've got 6 red heart canisters, but as you can see, I'm already full up. I can only have 10 red heart canisters, so what I need to do now is make the yellow heart canisters, which requires golden apples. Now, this is where things really start to get expensive. The golden apples are an apple surrounded by gold blocks. Now, I've got plenty of gold on hand here. Granted, this is all the gold that I have, which means that I'm going to need to go to more exotic locations with the digital miner. But that's just how things are. Make myself 3 golden apples. And now I can go ahead and craft myself 3 of these yellow heart canisters. There we go. Now, you can equip these directly, or what I'm going to do is just right-click with them. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that didn't work. Huh, strange. Okay, so I'll just equip them that way. And now I should start to heal up. Maybe... There we go. Now you see my health bar. It's no longer red. The orange is a second row of health. And now the yellow is a third row of health. I don't know what, I can only figure that the top tier is 3 rows, but once again, if you see anybody with green hearts, that means that they've cheated it in because these things cannot be crafted. It is intentionally, for some unknown reason to me, you know, creative only. But there you go. That is how I am improving my health bar as opposed to the genetic method from the Advanced Genetics mod. So that's pretty much everything for this episode, guys. A bunch of bits and pieces, things that I wanted to do on camera, but never got around to doing, and now that's done. Next time around, I'm not entirely certain what I'm going to be up to. It's maybe I'll go and flesh out the lab a little bit more, do some more interesting science. But whatever I do, I am Strife of Strife Solutions, and I am on the uptick. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.